Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to talk about finding the perimeter and area of irregular shapes. So here's a baby's hand, right? Um, Other examples in life, kind of like if you're trying to find the perimeter of a lake. Now, they do have these rolling measuring devices, but lakes can be huge. So if you wanted to take this thing and go across and walk the entire perimeter of the lake, it would take a long time, but you could do it. But another option would be to, especially with drones, they used to do it in airplanes. They take an aerial picture. They'd go up in an airplane and take pictures. But now it's pretty easy with drones, with great cameras on the drones. They can go up and take an overhead view of a lake, and then what they do is they scale it. They find the scale. Well, if this much of, like, for example, this baby's picture, let's say this was a lake, right? And so I had this picture here, and if I was able to say, oh, the scale, 1 inch on this picture is 2 miles in reality, well, then I could find the perimeter of this and then multiply it by the scale factor, 2 miles, right? So if this was, what 12 inches, I could multiply it by the, 1 inch equals 2 miles. So multiply it by 2, and I would get 24 miles. So that's kind of what we can do with those. And if you remember on the pretest, I asked, does anybody want some string? So here is an example. Now, if I could take this string, right? And this isn't the best string. I offered nicer string. This is all I could find at home. Someone was knitting. So I just take this string and I go around, and it's easier maybe if you have a partner, because then you could kind of like, all right, that goes right there, and then wrap it around here and then hold that down. And then one important thing that I might want to do is I might want to like mark off where I began. So if I began right there, I need to bring the string back to that spot, and then I'll know I would have covered the entire perimeter. So then there, and then this comes up to here. And you can see I'm going to be estimating. It's not going to be exact. So I'm going to come down there, and then I got to come back up. That goes there, come back up here. And then I keep doing it all the way through, and I get all these fingers, and then and this isn't exact. I'm just trying to go fast here. So let's say I do all this, and you can see as I'm going, I put my finger here so it doesn't move, and then I come down to here. I put my finger there so it doesn't move, and then I'm coming to right here. So now I use this much string to go around this hand. So then I could just grab a ruler. So here, this is in centimeters. I could turn it over and get inches, whatever I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to find, let's go for centimeters. So I'm just gonna, here's my string, and you may not be able to see it, but if I start it right here, right? So here I started at 0, and I'll show you, I'll move down. It is 36 centimeters. So the perimeter was 36 centimeters. Now, there's different ways of finding the area. So here I have, it doesn't tell me what these are. It doesn't say if it's centimeters, millimeters, or what. So when we don't know if it's centimeters, inches, miles, kilometers, the general term is units. So now some things I could do is I don't know if you can see this well, but here, this right here is 1 unit squared of area, right? So I want to see how many of these fit in here. So one thing I could do is I could count up all the whole ones. So like 1, 2, 3, and keep counting them up, and then say, okay, I'll get to the point where, let's see if I can zoom in here. A little zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All right, so now I'm zooming in here. You'll get to the point where it's like, oh, look at this one here. Here is 1 unit squared, but you can see it's only part of it. There's part that's outside. Well, then I could say, what I could do is I could say, well, look at this piece right here. This piece also is part. I can say, well, these two together, if this part fits just about right into here, so I could say these two pieces together are 1. So if I already have 1, 2, 3, then this one would be 4. And I could do that. And you can see it would take a little bit of time, but I could do it. I'm not going to get an exact area, but I'm going to be able to estimate the area of this hand. The other thing I could do is I could help myself and make life a little easier and say, okay, I pretty much got a rectangle right here. And I could say, okay, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right there, that's 42. Now I've kind of helped myself out a little bit, haven't I? I don't have to count each one of these. And then I could keep doing that, like right here. I could say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would find as many, and I say, okay, well, this one, it's not the whole thing, so I'm gonna have to do some work there. But I could say, well, since I'm just estimating, maybe I could just count this as, about, full squares and say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I am estimating. Or I could say, okay, this one and this one down here is 1. Once I get a lot of these, so 42, 47, 63, 68. Now, when I start getting to these pieces, I can say, okay, if I take this piece right here, what did I say? Oh, it's at 48. I was at 58. So I could say, okay, this piece here, it's about half a piece. And then I'm gonna find another piece that's about half a piece. Maybe this piece right here. So I'm gonna color this out and this out, and that's one more. I was at 58, now I'm at 59. I'm gonna say, okay, this is just about a whole piece. So now I'm at 60. I'm gonna say this is just about a whole piece, 61. And then I'm gonna say, okay, this little sliver here and this piece right here is 62. And I keep going until I've estimated the area of the hand. So today you're gonna get an opportunity you're gonna look at a couple lakes. Let me see if I can find that right here. Yeah, you are gonna look right here at a couple lakes. You have Loon Lake and you have Ghost Lake. And you're gonna try to estimate the perimeter and area of these lakes. And there's some information you can read, but I'm not gonna do that in this video. So you can read these before you begin here. All right, good luck.